Hello, everyone. So, there's been a lot of talk of moving O'Neal over to the left from the right, and I thought I would give my 2 cents on it entirely, and just kind of, yeah, because I think moving him from right to left could potentially be a problem, actually, because he made that same switch in college, actually, when Bisnawadi graduated, and he really struggled on the left, but he showed promise on the right in college, and now he's once again done that in the pros. And I understand a lot of people like to use the argument that he has the athletic traits, he's a young player, we can teach him that side. But I just because his athletic traits suit a left tackle better, I'm not really going to use that logic because I'm thinking of a different thing, which is because I know some people still think, well, the right side is like a power side. I think we've moved past that as a whole on offenses in the NFL. And now kind of looking at, we have all these athletic pass rushers from the end, the edge to the interior, that you kind of need all of your offensive linemen to be athletic, and you do sacrifice some power, and then probably over time it'll correct itself, and then we're going to get some more power rushers in. It's just this constant cycle. But as it stands right now, he has shown better promise on the right side than the left. I don't really see the point of moving him to the left side when you need athletic pass rush. Well, when you have athletic pass rushers on both the left and right tackle anyway, and you kind of need those pass blocking specialists on both sides now, not just the one. And plus, they're kind of trying to build this offensive line through athleticism and movement along the line, because zone blocking schemes typically go from, they go east west. It's kind of like we get them all moving this way, look for a hole, explode through. That's why Dalvin Cook fits so well, because he has the vision and the burst to hit that cutback lane that they are always trying to get. So it looks different, but it works when it's executed properly and you have the guys to do it. And I think it might be a little easier to find a tackle who played left tackle in college and showed more promise there. In college anyway, because once again, we haven't seen him try left tackle in the pros, so, or at least not a significant amount of time. And I think we should stick with he's a right tackle because mainly I don't trust us to develop people all that much, especially when we're flipping one guy to a different spot, as we kind of learned with Remmers to guard. Doesn't always go that well, but I think we can actually, because most of these athletic tackles is what's coming out of college these days. So it's kind of easier to find these more athletic guys. It's just a matter of space blocking if they're good at the whole, getting to the second level, executing their assignment there. And O'Neal actually didn't even get credited with allowing a sack this past season, and the end of the year with once again, I know people don't like Pro Football Focus, but with offensive linemen, I don't have much else. He had a 63.0 grade, which was the 55th ranked tackle, and I think it's a very solid year to improve upon for a young player who hasn't been playing tackle that often or that much. And I think flipping him could potentially ruin him. And if he is just a right tackle and ends up being a solid right tackle for many, many years, I think we would take that based on how our line has been. And I do think there are guys that we can go and get if they are indeed moving Riley Reef over to left guard, which is another reason why I'm kind of against moving him from the right side to the left, especially this season. Because if they do that and say, well, we're just going to flip him over here, put him here at guard, that's two movements on the same side of the line. We saw how one movement went on, the right side. Now imagine taking two guys and putting them into uncomfortable positions on one side of the line. That could end up being disastrous and potentially worse than how this past season went. So you have to be a little reluctant. And I know it's an unpopular opinion, but I do think they would kind of have to draft a guy to play left tackle because that's the other thing you would assume if they are moving Riley Reef over into the left guard. There's a good chance that at 18 they're planning on picking a tackle, if not trading up for one potentially. So unless, like you guys think, which is just move him from the right to the left, but it's easier to find someone in the first round who's a top tackle prospect who's played left tackle at a better level. And this draft is filled with such defensive talent that it's going to push some of these guys back, thus giving us, typically in a year, picking at 18 would mean we could get like the third tackle at best. We might be able to select the second tackle off the board potentially. And I assume that would probably be Yannick Juiced out of West Virginia, kind of another athletic big guy who has actually great functional strength, and you can go that route. And all of a sudden now you got a left tackle and you keep him on the right side, and that works out possibly better. And just because he's an underweight right tackle, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Just because, like I said before, there's athleticism everywhere on the field now. It didn't used to be that way. On defense, we used to not have all this athleticism along the front line. So now we do. So we need to have lighter, more athletic linemen across the board. And even if they don't get Yannick Kajust, you could also look at like second or third round options like Bobby Evans. He's also played both sides, but I think he can play left. I think he showed more promise at left tackle than O'Neal did, at least. And you're once again looking at a very athletic tackle. Mitch Hyatt could be the same kind of way, although I like Bobby Evans more strictly because Mitch Hyatt is like he's a complicated cat. That man, like depending on who you talk to, he's either like a second round draft pick or like a sixth round draft pick. But my point is, like, you can find guys later on in the draft that have played better at left tackle in college, at least, than Brian O'Neal did in college. Especially since we have an actual representation of what it looks like from O'Neal flipping from right to left, and it didn't go well. I'm very hesitant to actually move him from the right to the left. I know, once again, it's an unpopular opinion not to think this because we drafted him in the second round, but we also drafted Phil Loadholt in the second round, right tackle. So I would like to know what you guys think down in the comments below. And until next time, I bid you all adieu.